Hi there, and welcome to this short tutorial of the Total Leadership Library created by Brent Darnell in partnership with Globally Training. Let's do a quick review of the agenda, and then we'll go ahead and dive into how to actually go in and access your Total Leadership Library. We are going to review what Globally Training means by anytime, anywhere, any device. We're going to do a demo of the Total Leadership Library in the e-learning portal, and we'll just do a quick review of best practices. So what do we mean by anytime, anywhere, any device? Well, it's essentially that. You can actually take the Total Leadership Library wherever you go. If you have your smartphone, tablet, computer, or laptop, as long as you have an internet connection in one of these devices, you can actually do your training on the go. Whether you're on the way to work, you're at a conference, you can actually just open up your device, access the training because it's all built using HTML5 technology. So you do have the opportunity to take this training on the go. So as you log into the course, and I'm actually going to do a demonstration how to do that in a moment, but I just wanted to give everyone an overview of what you're going to be seeing as you access the Total Leadership Library. This is an example of what a typical slide may look like. You have your title here at the top. You'll have your main text here in this left corner, and then you have a whole bunch of action tiles around the page. So what you can do is you can actually go ahead and click through them. You go ahead and read the content first, read the text, and then go ahead and click through the different tiles that are here on the screen. Now, there may not be every tile filled out. There could be a couple images, but just for you to actually complete the slide, go ahead and click through what is available, read through all the information, and then you can go ahead and navigate forwards or backwards to your next slide. So what kind of tiles are there? Well, there is an e-demo tile, which is usually a short video that will be demonstrating something about the Total Leadership Library. There could be an e-tip, which is a short burst of information. If you go ahead and click on the Learn More, a little window is going to pop up that might give you a little bit more context relating to the text of that slide. There could be an image, or there could even be a Let Me Try exercise that you would go ahead and click and then follow the instructions step by step. At the bottom, you have your navigation bar where you can go forward and backwards. You can mute any audio narration for those learners who like to listen orally. You can go ahead and mute that should you wish. Don't worry too much about these symbols here. These are used for some other courses we currently have in our system. But if you do need any help, you can actually click on the help desk question mark icon, and that'll take you to our support page where you can open up a help desk ticket if you require further information. There's also a little menu bar here that you can click through where you can very quickly select the slide that you'd like to review. So let's actually go ahead and do a demonstration of how you're going to log into the Total Leadership Library and what it's going to look like when you're live actually in the course. So let me scroll over here and open up this window. What's going to happen is once you have access to the Total Leadership Library, you are going to be provided either a login or an enrollment key. If you receive a PDF that has an enrollment key, very simply select the enrollment key button and go ahead and enter in the key ID and key password that you received. Now, this will actually take you through the steps to go ahead and create an account, which you will later log in and then actually use here in the login portal. So you'll enter in your username, you'll enter in your password. You can also select Remember Me if you'd like the system to log you in faster for the next time. Should you ever forget your password, you can always click on this link to contact support, and we're going to go ahead and log in. Now we can see this is the main dashboard available to you guys as the learners to access the Total Leadership Library. This page is divided into three parts. You have here at the top your menu bar, essentially, where there's a Globally Training logo. If you ever get lost and you're deep in your training and you want to come back to this main dashboard, you can actually always just go ahead and click on that logo and it'll take you right back to this main page. There is a green ribbon here, which we'll touch on a little bit later, but essentially for the most part, everything that's in the green ribbon is reflected here in these tiles further below. There's a main dashboard banner, which just shows you some of the key information that's going on currently with Global e-Training. So let's take a look. We'll do a quick review of the different tiles that are available, and then we're actually going to go ahead and dive in. So we have a My Courses tile where all the courses live. So when you go to access the Total Leadership Library, especially for the first time, we're going to go ahead and dive in here in a moment. There is a Resume button, which is going to allow you to, instead of having to navigate all the way back into the course, you can click on the Resume button and it will take you directly back into the last course that you're working on. We have a search option, which is available for some of the other courses that we currently have in our system. There's a resources button, which has a couple links that are in there should you need further support. You can also access our help desk, which I'd mentioned earlier, through the support button here. And then down here, we just have a couple communication tiles. So there could be a poll that you could take. If there's a contest currently running with our company, you can see if there's any information there. There's a Twitter feed, so you can always see with Globally Training the most recent Twitter news. And there is a message board here that's available also. So you can go ahead and click on that. And then once a week, we usually post some key learning tips, especially for new learners who are accessing eTraining the first time. Let's go ahead, though, and click on My Courses. And you're going to see a folder system that's going to be showing up. Now, I'm an administrator, so you can see I have quite a few different folders available. But for you, you may only have the Total Leadership Library. In either case, if you do have access to the Total Leadership Library, go ahead and click on that. And now you can see the full course list that's available. Now, what do we see here on the screen? Well, we can see the course name. Once I hover over it, it does change color. So I could actually go ahead and open that course straight from here, or I could click Open. Now, here you can see a little bit, it looks a little bit different than the other courses that I have, and that's because I've actually opened this course and begun it. So we actually have a little play pause button, and there's a small little progress bar that actually shows that I've begun the course. Now, these courses here, we can see they haven't been opened yet. So let's go ahead and open one of these courses. Now, just before I do that, you can see a little drop-down triangle. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And we can actually read a review or a summary of this course before we actually go ahead and dive in. So this will give us an idea of what this course encapsulates. And importantly, it also provides a rough duration for the course. So that gives you an idea of how long you are going to have to book to be able to complete the course. Let's go ahead and open this one, and we're going to begin this course. And we can see here sort of our table of contents. So think of this a little bit as a book. When you open it up and you go to the table of contents in a book, you have your headers, you have your chapters, and then you ultimately go to your page. So think of it the same way. We have the title of our book, we have the title of our header, and then we have the different chapters below. And then at the end, we even have a little post-course course survey that we could fill out. So let me go ahead and begin the introduction. I'm going to go ahead and click on Launch, or again, I could just click on the title if I like. It's going to open up a new window, and it is going to take us to the training. So again, as we had previously, where we had the snapshot on the screen, but now we're actually seeing it live. We actually have the title of this current slide. We can read through the text that we have here on the left, and we even have a little sliding bar. And then we have various tiles that we can click through. So we can see here we have an important please read this before proceeding. So let's go ahead and click on that. And we can see that there's a window that we need to go ahead and review. And it talks about navigating the slides and going clockwise, navigating the tiles. So let's go ahead and click on eDemo. Now that we've read this first one, we can go clockwise. And once we open up the eDemo, it's going to open up a new window, which will take us to our hosting site where we have all our videos hosted. And there we go. There's Mr. Darnell, and you can go ahead and click play. And we can see that this is a 44-second video. As I mentioned, we tend to keep them a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And now it takes us back into the course. We can actually go ahead and continue with this topic that we were reviewing, or we could move on to the next, but we should finish it. So we can launch back in. And then we can go ahead and select the navigation bar to move forward and backwards to review the other slides in this topic. Now again, in the menu, I'd mentioned that a little bit earlier, you can go ahead and click on this button and you'll be able to select any of the slides in this topic if you want to jump back and forth. Let's say you decided you want to review something, you weren't too sure, you felt there was something about an industry skill and you wanted to jump back after completing this topic, you can just go ahead and quickly go back instead of having to navigate back through all the different slides. So let's go forward, we'll review a few more just to give you an idea. So here's an e-tip, so let's go ahead and click that and you'll see a window pop up. And we can see that there is a short burst of information, some key tips that we can use in terms of learning and completing this course. And we'll just go through a few more. So here we have an apply the learning. So let's go ahead and click on that. And here we go. This is an exercise similar to that Let Me Try we had talked a little bit earlier, and you just go ahead and follow through the exercise provided here. So let me go ahead and close this. And what you can do is after you've completed all your courses, and you can see now it's changed to a play pause for this one, after you complete the entire topic, it'll change to a little green check mark, and you'll just go step by step. Now, if something is very appealing to you, let's say you really want to start and jump right away to how to maintain your relationships, you could do that. You are not currently locked into a sequential order where you have to do the introduction and then go to focus or internal focus, then connection focus. You do have the opportunity to jump around. I would suggest, especially for the first few courses, to go in sequential order. But then if you do want to start focusing on specific topics, just go ahead and do that. We are going to ask you, if possible, to please fill out the post-course survey. And in the post-course survey, there's actually quite a bit of feedback that you can provide that's going to help us and Brent Darnell make any changes or improvements to the course as required. Okay, so that's actually a quick demonstration of how to go in and how to access your course. We did a quick review of the dashboard here, and you are aware of the different tiles that are available. And again, if you do need to access the help desk, go ahead and click through here. But now I'm going to show you the resume button. Just go ahead and click on resume, and you can see now, instead of having to navigate through all those folders, it took us directly back into this course. So those are the key steps for actually accessing your course. And what we're going to do now is we're going to jump back to our presentation. And we're just going to talk about a couple of best practices we're going to recommend as new learners to the Total Leadership Library, is really just to log in regularly. Short bits of time are often better than taking an entire course. The nice thing about the Total Leadership Library itself, the courses are very manageable in terms of time, but the more comfortable you get in with logging in and accessing the training, the more you'll really retain in terms of doing it in bite-sized chunks. You can also create a learning plan. So what do you want to complete, which course, and by when? And you can use those course summaries that I demonstrated a little bit earlier to build out that plan. And then set clear expectations for when you actually want to accomplish that plan. Actually putting something down in your calendar or on paper, you're going to be quite surprised that you'll actually be able to get much more accomplished than just by randomly logging in when you have a moment. Identify who your support team is. So if you do need the time available to book off, work with your supervisors so you do have some time available to complete the libraries. And lastly, definitely take some time to celebrate your success. Completing a course, completing the Total Leadership Library, even if it's just one of the courses, is definitely something that you should celebrate, because you're going to have some new learning that you're going to be able to put in practice. So that is the demonstration for the Total Leadership Library. I hope you enjoy your training, and thank you from Global Lead Training and Brent Darnell.